Have you ever found yourself waking up in the morning, scrolling through your phone, and suddenly feeling smaller, less important, or even invisible? Why does seeing someone else's success, their perfect moments, or their loud opinions make you question your own worth?
This feeling is not just in your head. It's a trap that many fall into without even realizing it. When you focus too much on others, you slowly lose sight of yourself. You start measuring your life through someone else's lens, and that's where the real struggle begins.
Imagine for a moment how much time you spend comparing yourself to others every day. It might be a quick glance at social media, overhearing a conversation, or just noticing the achievements of someone you know. This constant attention to other people's lives steals your energy. It chips away at your confidence like a quiet thief in the night. You begin to think, oh, why am I not there yet? Or what am I missing? These questions are natural, but when they pile up, they pull you into a place of doubt and distraction. You start forgetting what truly matters: your own growth, your own dreams, and your own journey. This is the moment many people get stuck. They lose their focus. They spend hours worried about what others are doing, what they think, and how they compare. But here's a simple truth backed by human psychology. When you focus outward too much, you scatter your attention and weaken your sense of self. Your mind is like a spotlight. Wherever you point it, that's what grows. If your spotlight is always on others, your own potential remains in the dark. Yet there's a powerful shift waiting for you. It starts with understanding that your energy and attention are your most valuable resources. Instead of giving them away to the lives and stories of others, you can turn them inward. When you do that, something incredible happens. Your self-awareness grows. You begin to see your own progress, however small, and it fuels your confidence. You start measuring your success not by others' highlights, but by your own steps forward. If you stay with this video until the end, you'll discover how focusing on yourself is not just a nice idea, but a deep psychological tool that changes everything. You will learn how to break free from the exhausting cycle of comparison. You will see why your journey is unique and why your attention should always come back to you. By the time this message finishes, you'll feel ready to reclaim your energy, your focus, and most importantly, your peace. Right now, give yourself permission to stop the endless scroll of other people's lives. Notice how this very moment is yours, unrepeatable and full of potential. Your story deserves all your attention, not just a glance, while distracted by someone else's story. You don't need to keep chasing approval, recognition, or validation from outside. The real power is found in shifting that focus back to where it belongs, on yourself. When you stop looking out for others, you don't lose connection with the world. You gain connection with your own truth. The journey of self-focus is a journey towards strength. It's where your confidence lives and grows. It's where the noise fades and clarity emerges. This isn't about being selfish or ignoring others. It's about honoring your own mind, your own heart, and your own dreams enough to put them first. This first step, realizing how much you've given your attention away, is the most important one. Because once you see it clearly, you have the choice to take it back. And when you do, you unlock a path toward peace, progress, and true happiness. So right now, pause and ask yourself, am I ready to stop living through others and start focusing on the most important person in my life? Me? The answer to that question will change everything. When you decide to turn your attention inward, something powerful begins to take shape. The human brain is wired to notice what we pay attention to. When you constantly focus on others, your mind becomes crowded with distractions, doubts, and unnecessary comparison. But when you consciously choose to direct your energy inward, you begin to build mental strength, clarity, and resilience. This is no accident. Psychology tells us that where your attention goes, your energy flows. The more you practice focusing on your own journey, the more your mind adapts and rewires itself to support your growth. Think about how athletes train their bodies. They don't just jump into a competition without preparation. They build endurance, strength, and skill, step by step. And your mind works the same way. The more you focus on your own goals, your own growth, and your own well-being, the stronger your mental muscles become. This means you start to resist distractions more easily. You don't get pulled into the drama or comparisons that drain your energy. Instead, your mind becomes a calm, focused tool that serves your purpose. Attention is a form of energy, and energy is limited. Every minute you spend thinking about others in a way that brings you down is energy wasted.
That energy could be redirected toward your dreams, your healing, and your happiness. When you focus on yourself, you give your mind the fuel it needs to create, to plan, and to act. This kind of focus builds momentum. Small wins lead to bigger wins.
Confidence grows naturally and progress accelerates. There is also a deep connection between focus and emotional health. When your mind is scattered, your emotions feel out of control. Anxiety and stress often come from trying to keep up with everyone else or worrying about how you measure up.
But when you focus inward, you become more aware of your feelings. You learn to sit with them, understand them, and choose how to respond. This emotional intelligence is a powerful tool that helps you stay steady no matter what life throws your way. Practicing this kind of focus doesn't mean you won't face challenges or distractions. Life will always have noise and pull you in many directions. But when your mind is trained to focus on yourself, you develop the ability to choose what deserves your attention. You create boundaries without guilt.
You say no to things that don't serve your growth and yes to the habits, people, and thoughts that uplift you. The science behind this is clear. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt, works in your favor when you train your focus.
Every time you bring your mind back to yourself and your goals, you strengthen new neural pathways. Over time, this becomes automatic. Instead of drifting into comparison or distraction, your brain naturally gravitates toward what helps you grow. This is the mental freedom you've been searching for, the freedom to control your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It takes patience and daily effort, but the payoff is worth it. As your mind grows stronger and more focused, your life changes. You become more productive, more joyful, and more resilient. You learn to trust yourself deeply because your attention is a sign of respect you give to your own journey. This respect builds unshakable confidence. By focusing on yourself, you create a foundation for lasting success and happiness. You stop being a passive observer of your life and become the active creator. This power lies within your focus. When you nurture it daily, you unlock the door to your true potential. It's natural to feel hesitation or guilt when you start focusing on yourself. Many voices inside your mind may tell you that putting yourself first is selfish or that you're missing out on what others have. These feelings are common because we live in a world that often praises self-sacrifice and demands constant attention to others. But true strength comes from recognizing that taking care of yourself is not only necessary, it's essential. Without filling your own cup, you have nothing left to give. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. When you listen to the doubts and fears that say you're being selfish, remember that self-focus is not about ignoring others or turning away from connection. It's about honoring your own needs so that you can be your best self for the people and goals you care about. The truth is, when you neglect your own growth, energy, and peace, you become drained. You lose your ability to support others or make a positive impact. Focusing on yourself replenishes your strength and clarity. Psychology teaches us that self-care and self-respect are the foundation of healthy relationships and a fulfilling life. When you set boundaries and protect your attention, you are teaching others how to treat you. You are showing yourself that you matter. Simple act of prioritizing your own well-being builds resilience. It helps you bounce back from challenges faster because your mind and body are not depleted. Fear often whispers that focusing on yourself means you will be alone or rejected. But the opposite is true. When you are whole and centered, you attract people and opportunities that match your energy. You become magnetic because your confidence shines through. People respect someone who knows their worth and holds firm to their path. By focusing on yourself, you create space for authentic connection, not desperate approval. It's also important to recognize that focusing on yourself means making peace with imperfection. You don't have to be flawless or have everything figured out. Growth is messy, and that's okay. The goal is progress, not perfection. When you accept this, you free yourself from the pressure of comparison and the fear of judgment. You give yourself permission to learn, to fail, and to keep going. Sometimes the voices of guilt and fear come from deep inside, old beliefs, past experiences, or social conditioning. But those voices are not facts. You have the power to challenge them. When you catch yourself thinking, I should be doing more for others, or I'm missing out, pause and ask, is this true, or am I just afraid of focusing on myself?
This moment of awareness breaks the cycle of self-doubt and opens the door to self-compassion. Iron. Taking care of yourself is the most radical act of courage you can practice. It requires honesty, discipline, and kindness. It means saying no when you need to and yes to what fuels your soul. This courage grows with every choice you make to honor yourself first. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes and the stronger you get. Remember, focusing on yourself is the key to unlocking your full potential. It's the foundation that supports everything else in your life. When you nurture yourself, you create a life filled with energy, clarity, and purpose. You become unstoppable, not because you ignore the world, but because you have the power to engage with it fully on your terms. Motivation is a spark, but focus and discipline are the fuel that keep the fire burning. Many people wait for a sudden rush of inspiration to take action, but true progress comes from consistent effort day after day. Focusing on yourself means creating habits that support your growth even when you don't feel like it. It means showing up for yourself when the excitement fades and the distractions grow louder. This kind of discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. When you build daily routines that center on your goals, you train your mind and body to stay committed. This is how momentum is created. Each small step forward adds up. It might be waking up earlier, dedicating time to learn, or simply choosing positive thoughts over negative ones. These choices shape your identity. They tell your mind who you are becoming. When your focus is steady, you develop an unstoppable rhythm that pushes you through challenges and setbacks. You see the world clearly, and you respond with wisdom and strength. This peace is a gift you give yourself, but it also spills over into every relationship and every area of your life. You become a beacon of calm and confidence, inspiring others simply by being yourself. Growth is never finished. It is a lifelong journey, and focusing on yourself keeps you moving forward no matter what. It builds resilience, creativity, and joy. You learn to embrace change and see challenges as opportunities to become stronger. This mindset shapes not only who you are, but who you are becoming. It sets you apart in a world full of distraction and noise. So today, make the choice to stop living through others. Choose to focus on yourself, not in selfishness, but in self-respect and love. Choose to put your energy where it matters most, on your own dreams, your own healing, and your own happiness. When you do, you unlock a life filled with meaning, clarity, and unstoppable growth.